Please describe your job title and primary duties.
So I was the bike tech, but what that encompasses is bikes and fitness. And so the bike tech, you could just be a sales associate, but the bike tech is like, I was like a leader. I wasn't an assistant store manager, but I was a sales lead for bikes and fitness. But I also had to mechanically maintain the bikes, so people would bring their bikes in for repair and service. I have to fix them. I'd have to build brand new bikes out of the box. But then beyond that, all the fitness department, like I had to talk to people about ellipticals and treadmills and stack the weights when they come off the truck, like stock all the fitness stuff and help people find whatever, ankle weights or whatever they needed. So yeah, as maintaining bikes and fitness is one department, but the highest role you could have there was called bike tech.
What was the work environment like?
Overall, it's like a sporting goods store. So dressing in sporting apparel was actually mandatory. So like you would have to wear like sweatpants or like basketball shorts and like a technical, like you couldn't just wear a t-shirt. It had to be like a dry fit t-shirt or something, which I guess would be pretty casual. I wasn't for me though. I thought it was kind of awkward. But beyond that, no, they were, the way they had it structured is I feel like they broke down everything into like such small little segments that you could give somebody that has no idea what they're doing these really detailed instructions on how to do it. Or they would just give you, they called it the playbook. Like everything is this big sports metaphor. So they'd give you this broken down playbook of exactly the steps to achieve your goal, and you really couldn't variate from that at all. They were really big into metrics. Like all day long they'd report metrics, meaning the number of people who checked out using, like the percentage of people who checked out using their scorecard, which is their in-store loyalty tracker program, the amount of donations that they got for their own Dick's Sporting Goods charity, trying to get people to sign up for credit cards. That was one that drove me crazy, is they really wanted you to get people to sign up for the Dick's Sporting Goods store credit card and buy stuff with it. So that was something that, I mean, we all have to wear these little radios and we're in constant contact with each other. And like once an hour, they would read out over the radio our current metrics and like encourage us to increase them no matter what they were.
What was your favorite part about working there?
The flexibility was incredible. I was a full-time student at that time, and it was a part-time job, but I could work, well, yeah, I pretty much, if I told them what days I needed off for anything, whether it was class or just maybe to spend time with my family, if I gave them enough notice, they were really accommodating of that. And that was probably my favorite thing, is just, well, that's something I miss in my current position, is just being able to more or less set your own hours within their structure.
Please describe the application and interview process.
Yeah, the application, everything's done online. And the interview, again, is broken down into these playbooks. And then the assistant store, you'll start with an assistant store manager, and they'll read you pretty much their script, scripted questions, and then they'll give you like a scripted scenario. Let's say you're in this scenario with an angry customer. How do you resolve it? What are your steps? So yeah, you do, maybe like 8 little sections like that, questions about work history, questions about like your attitude about work and things like that. And I guess my interview process was a little different because the general store manager was on vacation during that time, like an extended vacation. So I met with the assistant store manager, and then immediately following that was like the second interview with the acting store manager. And he just kind of came in and we chatted a little more casually. Yeah, about a day later, they let me know that I had the job. So usually, I guess, you come back for your second interview, but everyone was there. And I guess the people in the first interview felt strongly enough that I would be a good candidate that they just brought in the acting store manager. And yeah, so it's usually like a 2 or 3 day process, but I sped through there in a day.
How were you notified that you received the job?
Pretty sure it was a phone call a day later.
What set you apart from other candidates?
I had a lot of experience in bicycles specifically. Talented people that with like a bicycle skill set, like mechanical aptitude. Like I have certifications from technical schools that I can do all sorts of service on bicycles, whether it's like rebuilding suspension or tuning the shifting or whatever. So there's nobody like that. So that, looking back, I might have been a little overqualified. to work at Dick's Sporting Goods, because quickly I got all the other bike techs in the region, our Northeast Ohio region, would call me for support, and they say, I don't know what to do with this, and what do I do with that? So I'd have to, anyways. So I think even though it was a bikes and fitness position, like I interviewed for a sales associate in bikes and fitness, bicycles are my passion, and it's something that, I could, right off, like the first day I could build a bike, when that's usually something they have to train people to do. So I came to the table with some skills already.
That's cool.
Yeah, it let me negotiate a little bit of a stronger entry salary, and then just using that, I kind of pushed forward to eventually, because they, I guess most companies do, they tier your pay scale to your position you're at, and the bike techs cap out at $13.50. So I was kind of making the maximum that I could, and I did that for a little while, and I went somewhere else.
What other advice would you give to a job seeker looking to gain employment?
Yeah, it's tough, because I really I look at the people that they turn into career people there, and those guys get stepped on and squashed so hard. I would really just tell people, it's a really great part-time job if you have something else that you're cooking. You know what I mean? I'm doing school, right? So I really just need something to float me by. It's a really great job if you need a part-time job, but I'm scared for anybody that would want to plant their roots there and grow with the company. Maybe that's a little bit too vicious to put on camera, but that's really just how I feel. Is it's a good job if you're in the right circumstance, but if you're looking for something, a place that will treat you well and compensate you equally for the amount of work they demand from you, which is really what happens once you become assistant manager and store manager. I feel so bad for those guys. I don't know, a lot of them were my friends, and they just had a whole different experience than I did. And I was nice, because I only wanted to do part-time. I was in a valuable position. The footwear guys, those guys could get fired so fast. But no one is applying for bikes. So that, I kind of knew how much weight I had, and I wasn't afraid to throw it around. So